The crisis. The 9th of December 1959. Munich, Germany. The doors to the BMW General Meeting are locked. Inside, the air is thick with cigarette smoke and desperation. BMW, the legendary creator of airplane engines and luxury tours, is officially broke. On the table is a single offer, a total takeover by their biggest rival, Daimler-Benz. To the world, it looked like the end. BMW was about to become a footnote in history, a mere assembly plant for Mercedes. But in the parking lot outside sat a tiny, unassuming car that shouldn't have existed. A car built in secret on a shoestring budget, powered by a motorcycle engine. This is the story of the BMW 700, the car that everyone forgot, but the only reason BMW is still alive today. To understand how this little machine stopped a corporate giant, we have to go back to the moment the lights almost went out. Section 1, the background, a brand on life support. By the mid-1950s, BMW was a company of two extremes, and neither was working. On one side, they had the BMW 507, one of the most beautiful cars ever made. But it was so expensive to build that BMW lost money on every single one they sold. It was a masterpiece that was bankrupting them. On the other side, they had the Isetta, a tiny bubble car that people loved, but it didn't make enough profit to keep the factories running. BMW was stuck in the death valley of the car industry. They had no middle, no family car, no volume seller. They tried to fix it with the BMW 600, but it was a sales disaster. By 1958, the bank accounts were empty. The board of directors had given up. They were ready to sign the papers and hand the keys to Mercedes. But a small group of rebels had one last idea, and they only had months to prove it could work. Section 2. The secret weapon. While the executives were upstairs preparing the surrender papers, a Viennese BMW distributor named Wolfgang Denzel was working in the shadows. He knew that if BMW was going to survive, it didn't need another V8 luxury barge. It needed a car for the people. Working with Italian designer Giovanni Michelotti, Denzel bypassed the traditional corporate red tape. They took the chassis of the failing BMW 600, stretched it, and draped it in a sleek, modern body. Under the hood, or rather, in the trunk, they placed a 700cc air-cooled engine pulled straight from a BMW R67 motorcycle. It was light, it was agile, and most importantly, it was cheap to produce. When the prototype was finally shown to the BMW board in early 1959, it was like a lightning bolt. For the first time in years, there was hope. But there was a problem. They were out of time. The Mercedes takeover meeting was already scheduled for December. Section 3. The day BMW almost died. The 9th of December 1959. The day of destiny. The boardroom was packed with angry shareholders and slick Mercedes-Benz representatives. The plan was simple. Declare BMW bankrupt and absorb it. But the small shareholders, the mechanics, the dealers, and the fans had a different plan. They had seen the 700. They knew the orders were already flooding in. In a chaotic, 10-hour-long legal battle, a lawyer representing the small shareholders found a loophole in the financial balance sheet. They argued that the 700's development costs had been incorrectly accounted for, making the company look poorer than it actually was. The meeting descended into an uproar. The takeover was blocked. The unavoidable merger was dead. BMW was still independent, but they had a mountain to climb. They had to build the 700, and they had to do it perfectly. Section 4. The Little Giant. Against all odds, the BMW 700 became an overnight sensation. It wasn't just a commuter car, it was a giant killer. Because it was so light and utilized that high-revving motorcycle DNA, it started winning races. A young driver named Jackie Ickx, a future Formula One legend, got his start in a 700. It won its class at the Nürburgring and became the people's Porsche. By the time production ended, BMW had sold over 180,000 units. That little car didn't just pay the bills, it funded the development of the new class sedans, the cars that would eventually become the BMW 3 Series and 5 Series we know today. Section 5. The conclusion, the forgotten savior. Today, the BMW 700 is a rare sight. It's often overshadowed by the M1S, the CSLs, and the 2002S. It's the BMW that nearly disappeared from history because it was so different from the ultimate driving machines that followed. But look closely at the kidney grills of any modern BMW, and you're looking at a ghost. Without that desperate secret project in 1959, the BMW logo would have likely disappeared decades ago. The 700 proved that BMW's soul wasn't found in boardroom deals or luxury leather. It was found in engineering, resilience, and the guts to build something when everyone else told them to give up. So, the next time you see a BMW on the road, remember the little motorcycle-powered car that stood its ground against a giant, because sometimes the most important part of history is the one that almost didn't happen.